How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Trailmakers Creations. This episode, we're going to start with... I have no idea what to call this thing. If you have a suggestion after you see this, leave it in the comments down below. My only thing, to me it looks like a half a hermit crab. Like a homeless hermit. But this is actually a bionic walker. It's a forward leg walker. I have no idea what to call this. This could be like the front half of a spider, I guess. You can see it's fairly simple build. It's got some hinges and some suspension in the limbs, shall we call them. They could be fingers. I was thinking I could try and turn this into a hand, you know, like the Addams Family hand. Or I could put a big shell on the back and make it a hermit crab, but you'll understand once you see how it walks. So there's a hover pad on the back, which keeps the back end up, and the front walks, and it actually walks quite smoothly. We'll jump in. And spacebar. Look at that, not even any noise, eh? Of course, we got our heli engine for turning. That hover pad just keeps the back end from dragging on the ground. And you know it, we got a diving bell on there, so does this work in the water? Of course it works in the water. You see, you see how it looks like the front of a hermit crab. You could picture a big shell behind him. Big spiraled shell. But you can see it's just offset, two legs. But the whole trick here is starting with the 45-degree angle pieces here coming up rather than legs with just straight pieces at 90 degrees. Or 180 degrees, or level, however you want to call it. So here we've got normal junctions out here, but when you start with the 45 section like that, you can get some interesting leg movements. So that was fun. That was almost an accidental kind of build. Trying to build the forward walking, like spider kind of thing. And ended up building this thing, and it walks so smoothly. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep this like this. And maybe I'll transform it into something else later on. Like I said, into a hand or a big snail or something. That'll be a whole other build in itself. But now that I know that this works well, it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you can think of a name, leave it in the comment section down below. Then we'll have a name for it. All the best I got is the Homeless Hermit, which does nothing to describe what it is. Let's go down in the water, shall we? Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Just keep swimming. Okay, let's get down to the bottom here. We're going to swim, swim. It does look kind of aquatic, doesn't it? Looks kind of creepy in the water. Wonder if I put fins on there if he would actually swim. Alright, there's the bottom, buddy. Take it away. Oh, you're going to go this way? You're going to walk backwards? There you go. Get your butt down. Oh, even less traction down here. He doesn't move quite as fast, if he's even moving at all. Imagine if I put some weight on the feet. He'd probably move a little quicker. Alrighty, let's head back to the mainland and take a look at our next build. Hold your hats on, because it's going to get windy. Alright, so this is our next build. This is the Rainbow Cane. It's like a hurricane, it's a tornado, rainbow tornado. Again, if you can come up with a catchy name for this sucker, leave it in the comment section down below. That's why there's no names on this video. You notice that? Except for the Jetski guy that's coming up in the video. He's got a name. These first two, I have no idea. Just strange creations. So this looks wild. As you can see, big giant flat V. All along the edges here are our rainbow smoke trail devices. So lots of those. We got some gimbals all the way along the edges here to help us stay upright. This is all connected down here to a single helicopter engine which spins both sides of these big V, but does not spin the bottom here. It's not supposed to anyways. It does a little bit, but that's just extra torque, I think. And yeah, on a couple of hover pads so it stays above the ground. There are some sensors. There's a sensor down here which triggers these gimbals to keep it a certain distance off the ground because it wants to bob as it's moving. It's pretty heavy. So let's take a look at it in action and we'll build it in. Let me know what you guys think. Is it impressive or what? It's a big rainbow hurricane, tornado looking thing. Can't fly through this one like the other one, like the Lagnado. Oh, used thrusters. This uses this, so it's not too laggy actually, believe it or not, for using as many particles as it is. But it's kind of cool the way it flashes from the yellow to the orange. It's got the purple on the outside. It just bounce and a bounce. And because it's got hover pads on the bottom, it also works on the water as well. There's an altitude sensor in there that keeps it like 3 or 4 meters above the water. So if it is moving, if it's on a hill and it starts to drift, it will stay doing its thing above water. Now see if we walk in from inside. Oh! We get some nice cool effects inside here too. Uh-oh. Is it damaged? If it gets damaged, then it starts acting all weird. It's actually pretty big. From the top, looking down, this is what we see. So you can ride inside without... Oh. Don't want to do damage. Uh-oh, we got parts missing. Will it stay upright? Or is it just going to take off into oblivion? It's balanced pretty well, so if you lose some parts, the gimbals could kick in and hasta la vista, baby. So yeah, that is the Rainbow Tornado, Rainbow Cane, Rainbow... I don't know. You tell me. How about that? You guys are creative, right? You can come up with something. So yeah, that was a real interesting build. Again, taken from the idea from the Lagnado, which did create a lot of lag because it used a lot of thrusters. But this was a larger, definitely a larger version of it. Alrighty. We're going to head off to the water, and let's do some jet skiing. Alright, here he is. The guy everyone's been waiting for. It's Jetski Man. He's got some pretty hot hair, eh? So, this guy was fun to build. Again, wanted to try and build something where he actually moves like he's on a jet ski. So he leans to the left or to the right. And he leans back. When you pull back, he bends down like this. Whoa! Forward! That's okay. We can go underwater and then jump out like a jet ski. He does have a helicopter engine for steering. So that's another reason why you can do tricks. So yeah, it's just about controlling your thrust. If you want to stay nice and level, you can push forward. Into the water. And up, pull back. Yeah! You can almost kind of fly. Whew. Nice. Come on. So yeah, he's balanced really well. Probably could have put some lights on the front of it so you could ride at night. But I want to try and get something that actually gave the feel of like a jet ski, right? Where you can turn nice and sharp like that. Keep your front end up. But not enough to fly. So we are up here in the diving bell as his head. Does have some water propellers, so we still have propulsion underwater. Come on, up we go. Oh! Woohoo! Yeah, it's got some shark fins on there. He's got some fins on the bottom there that you can't see when you pull back that help keep the front end up. So you can do stuff like this. You can just ride on the front. Or just on the back, I should say. See, I wonder if we can jump over this thing without... Oh, I doubt it. Yeah. Jet ski man doesn't work so good on land. But hey, this is a good spot where we can jump out and rebuild them. And I can show you a couple of the things that he's got built in him. So you can see our water propellers down here at the back, lots on the back to try and keep the front end up as much as possible. Inside the front end is where most of our flotation devices are, our pontoons and such. And if we go into build mode, because the game is built on a square grid, basically all our pieces can have to be connected at a 90-degree angle. This is how I got away with the having an angle from here to the front to his hands, was by having a couple of dead hinges and some pistons that you can start at a certain length and just have them contract or extend or stay at a certain length until you can get the right length that you want in your angled piece, I guess you would call it. The control stick here, front end of it. So that's a good way to get away from angles, is to try and build 90-degree corners into it with some dead hinges, so that it can actually, when you build it in, they go relaxed and you can pull up the tension with your pistons. So he's got some fins on his elbow for stability. No stabilizers of any kind in him. He just used, well, he's got 2 gimbals for a neck here, but that's just to keep his upper body up. Or else you just flop all over the place. There's no way you'd be able to get him to stay upright unless you had fins or some kind of stabilizing system built into him. He's just got servos in his hips here. Of course, he's got hinges for his knees. He's got sideways hinges here at his ankles as well, so he can lean to the left and to the right a bit. And his feet hinges, of course. We got some shark fins on there. We got some inside. This is hollow mostly on the inside, except for our steering servo down here, our helicopter engine. We have a couple of thrusters under here that don't activate when they're in the water, so you have to get that front end out of the water in order for those to kick in. These keep on above the water, so that gives you that forward thrust and gives you that extra pull out of the water once you get the front end up. Those bottom thrusters will keep you in the air. We also have a helicopter engine back here for spinning left and right for roll. Because again, I want to be able to lean into the corners, right? But it's hard to set. If you download this and check it out, you might want to set those, the bottom one here and the back one here, to whatever you prefer as far as how quick you can turn. If you want them to turn really fast, set them up to 10. You got to remember that when you're in the water, it's like half the resistance or half the power of the servo, but as soon as you get into the air, you're just going to flip around like a madman. And that's half the fun, isn't it? In the body, as simple as I could possibly get it. Just a couple of servos, a couple of hinges here on his shoulders. Nice and thin, only a couple of pieces. And of course we got the diving bell for a head and fire for hair, because why not, right? We need some flowing locks when we're out doing our thing. To the spawn point. So see, if you just tap your spacebar and you just hold the spacebar like this, it'll ride just totally fine. You can push forward a little bit, keep the nose down, pull back a little bit. You'll want to naturally angle upwards, which is what you want, rather than going downwards. And he's actually fairly stable. You can see his one foot here gets lifted by a piston underneath his foot, to the left or to the right, and that's how he leans left and right. But he's pretty fun. Be fun to race these things around the island. Have a course where you're racing a bunch of jet skis. That would be fun, man. If you guys do that, let me know. Let me know, man. I think Scrapman should do that with the boys, eh? Jet ski races. Alright, guys. I think we're going to leave that one here. Jet Ski Man's going to take us out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And we will see you in the next one. Ciao.